do you want to start with like your name, like what you do here, and what exactly this is in the first?
Certainly. So my name's Clare Mwande. I'm the manager of the Forum Cinema in Hexham. It's a single screen independent cinema. The money, when we make a profit, a payment of that profit goes to Hexham Community Partnership. So it kind of makes it a community cinema as well, because the money goes back into the community. Goes towards Number 28, which is a social community group in the East End of Hexham, and then it goes into Hexham events as well.
And so, where does a lot of that money end up? What kind of projects does it go into in the community?
Well, Number 28 is it's a community project that benefits people who are living in deprivation. So people who are struggling, and it exists to signpost people to places where they can get help, and it runs various clubs and groups and things that benefit that part of the community as well. And then it goes into things like paying for Spooks Night and the Christmas markets and things. But I will caution that is when we make a profit. It is a not-for-profit organisation, so equally we'd love to make a profit. It just doesn't always happen.
And so, in terms of Hexham, how I know you're saying you don't make a profit. I know, like, you're obviously in the city centre. You're quite close to the bus station that I just came through.
Yes.
How much do you sort of like figure into the community, either on the outreach side of people coming here for, say social events, and then just coming in to see films? So yeah, how much do you figure into the community, I would say?
I think we are incredibly important for the community, and if you talk to our customers, they will tell you that we're very, very important as part of the community. Concerning other businesses in the community, it's very rare you come to the cinema and you don't then go and buy a drink or have a meal somewhere else. So for the businesses, we're important, and we know that when we have busy screenings, the businesses around are aware of it and are waiting for when we come out, because they know that their clientele is suddenly going to grow. On a community side of things, we do a lot of outreach into the community. We've ramped that up a lot recently. So, for example, we've just run a great big crowdfunding campaign, so we can buy equipment for several groups that we're working with for people with additional needs to make their own films and put them onto the screen. And then we're going to hold a big event for that in October. So now we've got, well, in a few weeks' time, when we get the cash in, we're going to buy all the equipment. They'll be able to use the cameras, make their own films. They'll be given training on how to edit those films, and then we'll have our event, and it'll be great. So we're really sort of cementing links with those. We did a words gone out of my head, sorry. we did a trial one of these events last year without all the extra equipment, and it worked so well that we're carrying on. We've been outreaching to young people as well, so we've been running our Cinema Champions courses. We ran 3 of those last year, so they were free of charge for anyone aged 16 to 25 to come in and learn how the cinema works and how programming for the cinema works. And we've got good links with BFI, so those people were also able to come along if they wanted to BFI's Northern Exposure and talk to the BFI about a career in film programming and cinema. And we, throughout the year as well, we were working with various youth organisations, the drama group from Queen's Hall, what other groups were we working with? So many. And we've all gone, we worked with the skateboarders, rowing club, Hexham swimmers, all sorts of different people to put different films that might interest them onto the screen and get them to come in, which was really good. Got different people in. And then, of course, we've got the Tyne Valley Film Festival, which outreaches right up and down the Tyne Valley. So we had a film in, furthest east was in the Tyneside Cinema, and then various villages all the way up through to Holt Whistle, where we've just sent a film out into the village halls for them to show and watch. They're generally existing film clubs that are showing these films. Some of them are new startups. Last year we had one film club restart from before COVID. So they're quite important for each village's social community get-together thingamajiggies. That was a technical term.
You hit on like three things that I wanted to like.
Yeah, no.
So
shoot away.
Yeah, you gave me like three questions all in one. Well, so the first one, when you have those busy screenings, how do you then couple that with accessibility? If say there's a big crowd, and then you've got, say, 5 people who have dementia, who have their needs, and then you've got 10 people who are coming in with, say, autism, ADHD, that sort of thing, and then you've got hard of hearing people. How do you sort of like go about handling all that?
Yeah.
And their additional needs alongside people who don't have additional needs, and making sure everyone's satisfied.
So just about every month now we hold a dementia-friendly screening. It could be of a film that's popular at the time, or it could be something that, say, Chrysalis have particularly requested. So we've got one coming up during Dementia Action Week, actually. And
is Chrysalis the dementia?
Yeah, it's a group for people with offering sort of social outlets for people with dementia. So that's a relaxed screening. Obviously, we keep the doors open, the lights are up a little bit, the noise is down a bit. Staff know, how to assist people through the cinema, and that seems to work pretty well. Carers with a CEA card go free, so they don't have to pay for the person who doesn't necessarily want to go. We sometimes have relaxed screenings as well, which are for people who live with autism, have autism, or other additional needs. To be quite honest, a lot of people with additional needs just come and just join in because they're happy and comfortable here, and that's brilliant. For people with mobility issues, if we've got a particularly busy screening, we'll get a volunteer in to help us, because we've got a chairlift up to the main, into the building, and then we've got a wheelchair lift into the auditorium and wheelchair spaces. We've got an accessible toilet. So the building is a pain to navigate, but actually I think people find that the staff are so well trained and so welcoming that they're very happy and comfortable to put up with the fact that we have to sling one lift there and wake them up and stuff. They're pretty happy with that. We've run subtitled screenings as well for people who have hearing impairments.
So I wanted to ask about the film festival, the additional needs, sort of like filmmaking. With the film festival, I know it's like very spread out, so you can't handle the other venues. But with yours, how is the accessibility with the film festival? Is it just business as usual sort of deal?
Yeah, within this building, yes, because we're all set up to be as accessible as we can. And then when people bring up things, we work with people to see if we can improve accessibility. So a couple of months ago, somebody with a sight impairment just asked if we could put in our programme when we have audio capture, audio descriptions.
Yeah.
I'll be the one. We work with them to do that. So yes, for accessibility into this building, it's pretty much the same. But this year with the film festival, I audited every venue. So we sent out questionnaires to check the exact accessibility, like how many steps are there into your venue? Do you have a handrail? Do you have an accessible toilet? And all those things. And they all went on the website and a small bit in the brochure for each venue as well. So people could look at the brochure and go, right, okay, I can see that, there's something there that I need to have a look at. And they could go onto the website to check exactly how they would be able to get into a building and access a film.
Well, that leads quite nicely on to one of the questions that I was going to ask last, which is, how do you think cinemas in the region, so the northeast, are doing in terms of their accessibility? I was saying, I know, like Tyneside Cinema, which I go to a lot, it doesn't have a stair lift. It has a lift, but it doesn't have a stair lift. I don't know if it does the kind of like dementia screenings and that sort of thing.
I don't know, is going to be my honest answer. I attend quite a lot of accessibility training when I can, and I must admit I don't see many other cinema groups at those, but that doesn't, it might be because they're already doing it all. Because the ones in the area, really, we're talking about like Odeon and the Gate and things like that. I'm assuming they've got lifts and stuff. But
I know the Gate has.
Yeah, I don't know how people get into the auditorium, if it's easy, is it sloped access or?
I'm not sure with the Odeon. No, I'm not too sure.
I think there's few struggle a little bit with some of their mobility accessibility into the auditorium.
So, do you think, and I suppose this comes to like why you choose to, or why the cinema chooses to focus on accessibility in the first place, do you think that there is probably room for improvement, would you say?
If I had £1 million and a little more space, absolutely.
Well, with yous or with just like the region in general, like
there's always room for improvement. Whatever you do, and we're always striving to look for that. And I think, yes, you could say that within the region as well. Hexham itself isn't actually the most accessible, being halfway up a mountain and various different levels of streets all over the place, and yes, all those kind of issues. But, yeah, I mean, we work together as a community quite a bit to try and improve accessibility. We used to have like regular dementia-friendly kind of meetings to sort of check how everybody was doing and encourage each other. They've kind of fallen off since COVID, but we know that people are still out there doing their best. So,
and so then with the additional needs filmmaking, what I wanted to ask is, well, there were two in particular. The first one was, what ideas are they like sort of having in mind that they want to put onto screen?
Lord alone knows. So when we ran it last year, we're working with 4 groups this year. We're working on Stage Fright, Giving into the Community, We Can, and the Priory School. And they're each going to make a short film to put on the screen, and we're just going to let them go with that. We kind of said keep it to probably a 12, 15 max, just because of the people that might be coming along. It's not aimed particularly at children, it is aimed at older people. When I say older people, are 15 plus, I guess. So we've asked them to keep it kind of within those confines, because, they're a really great, lively bunch, and they've got a terrific sense of humour. So then we've asked them to pick a feature film. Last year they picked The Greatest Showman Sing Along, which was just immensely good choice because they all sat and sang through the whole thing. It was brilliant. And there were a couple of people who hadn't realised that they'd walked into a relaxed screening and were kind of looking around going, what's happening? It was even better. And the atmosphere was just amazing. It was so much fun. So I don't know what they're going to pick this year. We have got a list of some of them. One of them was The Sound of Music, but I vetoed that on the basis we can't sit there for 3 hours. And I hate The Sound of Music. But yeah, we'll keep it again to that kind of very lively experience that we hope that they'll be able to join in with, because it was so much fun last year. But right. It's up to them what they want to put on.
And then with their filmmaking, are there, like, because of additional needs, are there specific requirements that they have, that they like you need to help meet in order for them to help make short films?
No, absolutely not. What we're doing is we're giving them the equipment to use, and we will give them some training on how to do film editing. And when I say we, I mean somebody who knows about these things, absolutely not me. But these groups they know their own people, and they are well set up and designed to cater to the needs of their own people. And apart from that, we just kind of let them tell us what they want on the day. So no, not particularly.
Let me have a look if I've got any more. Yeah. I've already forgot it. With the accessibility, how successful do you think it's been in sort of like bringing people to the cinema that previously wouldn't or weren't able to come to it?
It's absolutely crucial because Hexham has got an older population. The population increases a lot from the age of 50 above. It drops off at age 18 and then people come back when they turn 50. So a lot of our clientele, or most of our clientele, are older people, 50s plus. And, as you get older, bits and pieces drop off. Therefore, you're going to need a bit of extra help getting in. But our customers, really appreciate that, and they do feel comfortable. So they come back time and again, and they know, they'll call us up and say, I'm coming along, I'm going to need the wheelchair lift, and they prep us for it and everything. They're really good. But yes, if we didn't offer those two lifts, they just wouldn't be able to come in. And while we don't sort of have a massive amount of people coming in for, say, the dementia-friendly screenings, the fact is that there are people in there every single time we put them on. And, we do parent and baby screenings as well, which is, quite nice for people to be able to come. Not quite so popular, but maybe they don't know about it, so I think that's something we need to work on. Our information accessibility in many respects.
And then, well, to just wrap up, it's a very basic question. I don't even really know if there's an answer to it. What would you say the end goal is for encouraging accessibility in cinema? There is no end goal. You're quite right. There is no end goal because there'll always be something that we can do better. So to keep working with people with disabilities,
with different sectors of the community to keep encouraging everybody in. So to be as fully inclusive as ever we possibly can, but to keep improving that and not to lose sight of the fact that there's always something else you can do.
Okay. Yeah,